Raise Sloan an arm of the surveillance state via Grindr? Start your sublight engines. It's time for RuPaul's Pod Race, a queer Star Wars podcast. Welcome back to another week of chaos. This week we'll be wrapping up our thoughts on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. My name is Mel. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me on social media at Melvin Culpa and on TikTok at Grunkle Rex. And my gender this week is Reva playing Among Us in real life.
Stop. You're
Wow.
done.
Sussy. She's imposter, kind of.
Well, you know,
Inquisitorious.
Leia also, she was in the vents, you know?
Oh my god, okay, the two imposters being Reva and Leia, slay.
Ezra Core.
No, because Leia's not imposter, but everyone thinks she is, and she gets voted off, and she's like, I was an imposter, and now you guys
Oh, so
see.
true. She's one of the new roles in Among Us, the one that can clean the vents or whatever the heck.
One other thing before we continue recording, because Ollie knows this, but it was something so troubling that happened to me yesterday that I need everyone to know, just kind of mentally where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was picking up dinner after I left from work to go home, and I was in a very busy area. And so there were a lot of people just like walking across the street, not thinking spatially about how cars work. It's like a little like shopping center area. And I was playing a playlist that Ollie and I constructed that is songs that we thought were playing at Alfrona Outpost, which is to say just a lot of, it's quite a troubling playlist, but it was like Vienna by Billy Joel. I'm trying to think, there was some other,
I know this playlist. I listened to it.
I was trying to like fucking get through the fucking harrowing journey of driving through this fucking street, and fucking Butter by BTS started playing, and I was like, no.
What you guys don't know... What you guys don't know is that Loden Greatstorm was really slated to be the president of the K-pop club on Starlight Beacon. That's what he was going to do after Light of the Jedi, and then
Loden Greatstorm BTS Army. That's going to be
my
He is.
You're like, oh, I'm a member of Army. He's like, I'm a member of Army. I think he likes twice. I think he's like, if you do not stand Loona, what are you even doing?
So true. That's what he said to Marcion Rowe.
He's like, you shut the fuck up. You do not stand Loona, you fuck. My name is Ollie. I use any pronouns. You can find me on social media at OllieFresh. That's fresh with a PH. And my gender this week is a little different. My gender this week is my submission for a Star Wars cameo pool where everyone was guessing cameos of who was going to be in Obi-Wan Kenobi. And my gender is just a list of characters that I put. I did it right before the show started, and everyone who was going to guess had basically already done their guesses yet, and I was determined to make it so it was like no one... I didn't want to listen to characters who had already been on the list, like who other people had guessed. Do you guys want to hear my list?
I would love to.
Absolutely.
Okay, so first is Garrus Eberelios, just because I was like, wouldn't it be funny if he did show up?
Absolutely.
Brierly Ronan, just because I was like, no one's guessed him yet.
I would have guessed him.
This one I'm a little sad didn't actually show up. Masamita.
Yeah.
We got Palpatine, no Masamita. Cham Syndulla at his bestie Gobi Glee.
Gobi Glee.
So I'm like, so no Gobi. I also guessed Hondo, which one other person did guess, but, you know. That was probably my most realistic one, honestly. Comac Vitus, I just thought it'd be funny. Just like, whoa. Rail Avaros, who is another one who I was like, if they're gonna bring a Glub Shadow. Thrawn.
Wouldn't it have been fucked up if at the end of the Kenobi series, instead of seeing fucking oh my god, why was I Stellan Geos? What the fuck? Qui-Gon Jinn's Force Ghost, he saw Rail Avaros.
And he's like, bitch, what are you doing here? He's like, ah, fuck Qui-Gon. I figured this shit out and no one is talking
and no
about
one
it.
asked me.
No, but if Stellan Geos' Force Ghost appeared to Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think I would have shit and fart.
Also, Enfys Nest is on this list. She also didn't show up.
That's sad. I wish she did.
I do too. Anyway, that's my gender.
Hi, I'm Claudia. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me on social media at Kaludia Says, Kaludia Says. My gender this week is sandy lightsabers, because every time they put the damn lightsabers in the sand, and like this time Obi-Wan, like in the series, he had it in a box, but like, you know, Reva puts it in the sand, and Rey puts it in the sand, and like the sand, it gets in the crevices. It's just not, it's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. You know what I mean? And I want to know, like, it fucks up the mechanisms. I just think it's quite funny. Anyways.
Hey, maybe they have those little cans of the spray thing that you He used to
can't
clean
with
out
that.
electronics and stuff.
They like pressurized air.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm Noah. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me on TikTok at the Jewish Jedi. And my gender this week is proud, unironic owner of a world's best mom mug, Baru White Sun, because frankly, she deserves it.
Yeah.
I spent this entire show being like, I would love more Baru content. And then the finale gave me exactly what I wanted, which was Baru being incredibly slay. I just wanted to highlight her in this moment.
I can't imagine like how Ollie feels as like the resident Baru stan from like their childhood into like now. But like all the like people who were like, yeah, Baru. And I was just like, you know, I knew an OG. I know Ollie. Ollie's an OG Baru.
The original. Listen, I remember seeing her when I watched Attack of the Clones for the first time as a very small child and being like, that is my woman.
You and Owen Lors.
What does he have that I don't?
Okay, but we said last week he's a wife guy. Like
he is a wife guy.
He was like, what am I gonna do? And she's like, and I'm gonna pull out the Glock, and he was like, all right, you know what? That's why I married. Like he made this face of like, that's why I married you, and I was like, that man's a wife guy.
Hi, I'm Jess. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on social media at Kawaii Jessio. That's Kawaii Jessio. And my gender this week is young Luke hitting the whoa.
Oh my god,
like,
wait!
You know, when he's like playing on the roof and like Obi-Wan's looking at him from a distance and you see him like move he's pretending to like drive a pod racer, I think, but it does look like he's hitting the whoa.
No, because you know what? He is a little child that's doing TikTok dances while his parents are grocery shopping.
Well, people said he was an iPad kid and a Fortnite kid. He's absolutely doing TikTok dances.
Yeah, he's doing the Fortnite dances.
He's doing the Renegade at Whole Foods.
He's like, Aunt Baru, can I please get some V-Bucks? And she said, no, Luke, you've already gotten V-Bucks this month. We can't get you more, okay? Why don't you just save the ones I spent them already because I wanted the skin.
Okay, is he a Fortnite?
I wanted the Moon Knight skin.
Is he a Fortnite kid, a Roblox kid, or a Minecraft kid?
All of them.
Oh.
He's like the Avatar.
No, he's not bringing balance.
A gamer.
He's bringing balance to the Force. It's not because of like his fight with Palpatine or whatever the fuck. It's because he plays all of those games.
Now, what about Leia? Does she play?
She plays Among Us. She plays Among Us.
I think that that Bale was like, here, this is an appropriate game for kids, and left her with Pop Tropica, and then she immediately closed it and went to play GTA 5 online. Also,
I feel like Han Solo is playing dress-up games.
You mean like when you go online and go to the doll dress up?
Yeah, he's going to he's going to Girl Go Games.
Cruise.
Yeah,
Pit Crew icon.
Han Solo was on Barbie.com. He was.
No, guys, also, Leia, as an adult, is talking to Han, and she's like, you never would have made it in a Call of Duty lobby.
And she's right.
She's right. She's like, listen, I was calling people slurs in those lobbies. You never would have made it.
No.
She's like, you
know,
know,
that's why she called him a fucking nerf herder.
Exactly. She was trained from her gamer days.
No, I'm just saying, Han is the type of person who gets stuck playing like, you know, those like weird Flash games that are like Frozen Dentist, where
yeah,
it's like a character from a Disney movie. Yeah, that's what Han was doing his entire childhood.
Han would see those weird pop-ups for those like random like weird mobile games and be like, okay, time to play a new game.
Frozen Help Elsa Give Birth. Flash game.
Also followed by, I don't think that it stops in his childhood. I think he's on the Millennium Falcon doing that. You know how Chewie in A New Hope is playing fucking chess or whatever the fuck the game that's supposed to be? I forgot what it's called. Don't at me.
Dejarik.
He is also he's also
Han
playing
Solo
Frozen
and I are
Birth Simulator.
We're Candy Crush girlies. I do.
Han Solo's playing that one like that one mobile game that like I kept seeing ads of, and you know, it's like the girl finding out her grandma's up to like some like weird sketchy
Lily's Garden.
Yeah.
No, okay. No, because here's the thing, and I was about to say this too, but Han is the guy who's playing that game, and he's weirdly into the lore. Like you're like, oh, what are you playing? And he turns around and he's like, so the grandmother. This is my theory. I think that she and like he just goes on a tirade, and Leia's like, I don't want to know you anymore. I don't want to do this.
Have you
And
guys
he's
been
like,
getting,
well, you're pregnant with my son, so it's too late now. Sorry.
have you guys been getting the ads for the Emperor Concubine game? I get constant ads.
Yes,
Han
yes.
Solo plays those games and he's really good
He's like,
at
oh
it.
my god, Leia, I don't know which
He
baby
runs
to
a-
pick.
He runs a forum.
He has spent over 1,000 credits in microtransactions.
That's why he's in debt to Jabba.
He's like, Jabba, please. Jabba, I need more credits so that I can adopt the pretty son.
But I'm just saying, and then I don't know if any of you know this because you're not avid users of grindr.com.gov.edu. However, I'm just saying that when Luke first goes on that app, because he's been there before, and he sees an ad for like one of those games, it's like, which one would you pick? And it's between two items, and it's not at all how the actual game works. He hits download immediately.
There are ads on Grindr, bitch. What?
I'm sorry, I'm
know.
not
My
over
favorite thing.
Noah saying
Yes. Oh my God.
grindr.com.gov.edu.
Yeah, okay. I know for you youngins it's an app, but for us older generations, it's a website. You have to dial in.
I did
Okay. So to be clear, Grindr does have ads, and they're ads that are purposefully not representative of what the thing actually is, and they're all the same. It's always those games.
That's
you
like
see,
those
a,
Sultan
like
games.
a TikTok ad, sort
Like,
of.
yeah.
But it's the ones where it's like you have to pick like a binary choice, and then the ad always picks the visibly wrong one, and it's like, could you do better? Like,
No,
it's
okay,
those.
no, because it's like those fucking. I'm trying to remember what the app is called. It's called Episode, where it's like piss
Oh,
your
yeah.
pants or
Yes.
kiss the boy.
I get
Yeah,
those
no.
ads on Instagram all the time. I think Han Solo also plays
No,
those
'cause-
episode games.
Because here's the thing. I know exactly what Noah's talking about. It's like the one where there'll be like a guy running, and then it's like, this one is you get like 10 points, and this one's like times 10 points, and he always picks the wrong one. Han Solo is seeing an ad. He's like, I did the thing in 12 parsecs or whatever. I could do that.
Wait, so Han Solo is still clicking on those ads like by the
Yes.
time he meets Luke, and Luke has like
Yes.
learned his lesson by then, and Luke is like, you're still clicking on the stupid ads on Grindr?
I'm sorry. Are we doing a Han Luke Grinder? Like, is this how they're talking to each other?
Han Grinder, meet cute AU?
No,
No,
I
'cause
don't
I'm
think they
just
met
saying
that
that-
way.
mm.
I
No,
think they just...
wait. No, because here's the thing.
That's why they went to the
no.
fucking cantina.
No, listen. No, because that's what I was gonna say. Because Ben Kenobi saw Han on Grindr and was like, "Okay, this guy says he has a car, so we're gonna go meet up with him." And he gets
Not-
there, and Luke's like, "Hey, I've seen you on Grindr."
Ben Kenobi's like, the government can't track me. I can't use Uber, so I guess I'll use Grindr.
Grindr is an Uber.
And you know what? His profile is a picture of Luke.
No.
Wait, oh my god.
Catfisher Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Just like in the circle.
No,
I
Luke
can't.
Luke
I'm
gets
sorry,
banned
wait,
from
wait,
Grindr
wait.
and Tinder and every app because people start using his picture, especially after after the rebellion and everybody knows who he is. They start using his picture to catfish people, being like,
No,
I'm a
no,
Jedi
no, no, I'm
Master,
still-
and then he gets
I'm-
banned from every app.
I'm still stuck on Ollie's idea of Obi-Wan using Luke as a catfish photo. Like, why does Obi-Wan's Grindr profile say Twink 21 looking? It's like 4 miles away.
No, because here's the thing.
can't
It's
fucking
not that
do
he's
this.
trying to actually. He's just like, oh, I just need to like be on this app, and he's like, well, like so that I could get information. But then he's like, well, I can't use a picture of myself. Who's someone I know? Luke. And then he's like, oh, well, this is gross and fucked up. Why did I do this?
Wait,
But then he's like, oh, hey, there's this guy. He looks like he has a car, and he wants to chat with me, so that's great. And then he shows up, and Hannes sees Luke walk in, and he's like, oh, you.
Here's a concept though. What if it's not Han on Grindr? What if it's Chewie who's on Grindr?
No, because I was also
Nar.
thinking about that. I think but Chewie's, I feel like Chewie has got enough going on. He's not ready for casual.
He's looking for
hookups.
No,
something
who's on
discreet
Grindr?
because he's married.
Is married.
No, who's on Grindr? What was it? Chewie's dad?
What?
In the holiday special, Chewie's dad be doing some weird shit.
Oh, shit.
God, you're right.
Okay, I'm
Sorry.
sorry. I don't mean to be this person, but I am now thinking of Baylor's Grindr profile, and I feel that it is my duty to bring it up in conversation and then say nothing else about it. That's
I do believe
Shout out Balance Nation.
Yeah, shout out to Valence Nation because I do believe when they were in the Empire, they did see each other on Grindr, Han and Valence. I definitely think so.
this is definitely not based off an experience that I've definitely not had. However, you ever go on Grindr and then you look at a profile that has no picture and no name and it says 20 feet away and you're like, the call is coming from inside the house.
That's
Hey,
Han
you
and
know what?
Valence
No,
when
no,
they
that's
were in
Han and
the
Baylor.
Empire
That's Han
together.
and Baylor.
Because you know who else they are seeing on there? They're like, dang, this guy, like, it's only like his head is not in the picture, but you can see his does that bitch have mutton chops? What is going on there? Because you know who else is on Imperial Grindr? But he's like, I gotta keep it on the DL because I've got a job.
Shit, I bet Eli is in there too.
Grindr on Coruscant is fucking harrowing, y'all.
Brierly Ronan is on fucking Grindr.
Guys,
Absolutely.
look out for fucking Tarkin. He's gonna start matching with you bitches. That doesn't happen on Grindr.
I was about to say, I'm like, you don't match with people.
I mean, has anybody seen the TikToks of like when you're on Grindr and you drive past the Pentagon? That's exactly what the Death Star is like.
The Death Star.
No, you get to the Death Star and then you're opening up to literally 1,000 Grindr notifications that all say hey from blank profiles that are equally distanced from you. And they're all like, and they're all like maybe 40 feet away, and you're looking around in the crowd and you're like, surely it's one of these people, but you're not entirely sure who it is.
It's all of them, actually.
It's every single one, and every single message just says, "Hey."
That is DC core. That is Washington D.C.
That is literally Washington D.C.
Should we talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I'm having a great time talking about this, actually.
And I just want to say that Obi-Wan goes on Grindr on Coruscant like during his lifetime living there, and then moves to Tatooine, and he's like, surely there's something. There's 4 people. And one of them is Owen Lars.
And one of them is Owen and Baru.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, and if we're being real, one of them is Baru and it says looking for friends. Anyway, concept, Obi-Wan in Rebels knows that Maul is there because he sees Maul's profile pop up on Grindr.
That's how he finds Cobb Vanth. Horrible news. Cobb Vanth is the one who is like, you gotta get this Grindr thing. He gets that. Then he's like, whoa, two new people just popped up during Twin Suns. And he's like, what? It's Maul. And he's like, who the fuck is Chopper?
No.
And it's Chopper who's catfishing with a picture of Kanan.
That's how Maul is able to locate Obi-Wan and Ezra in the desert, because he's just like, there he is. So there's Obi-Wan.
I can't.
80 feet away, 50 feet away. Anyways, this is our podcast where we talk about the series Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, or at least our final thoughts. Let's just start this out.
Yeah, let's go around and give our out of 5 stars.
So I'm actually, initially I would have said 4 stars. No Zeb, so it's 3.5. Sorry.
And I think that's very fair of you. Yeah. I can say that was my primary disappointment with the show, was the lack of Zeb.
Now you know how it feels to be me.
I also was gonna just give it 3.5 stars. Not because Cody wasn't in it or Zeb. I don't want to be too generous. Sometimes someone's gotta be mean.
I was gonna give it a 4, but then I cried a bunch in the last episode, so then I give it a 4.5. The only reason I don't give it a 5 is no Ahsoka mention. Also, couldn't see shit for half the show. We talked about that last week. Great visuals, amazing. Love the stagecraft. I can't see shit. I literally saw somebody make an edit today being like, the beauty of Obi-Wan Kenobi, half the shots in the edit were like dark as fuck. And I was like, the beauty of what? I can't see it. Like some of it looks really cool in Yas and Slay, and then some of it I'm like, I can't see at all. So if it wasn't for that and the fact that there was like barely any clone mention and also barely any Ahsoka mention, I would have given it a 5 other than that, because I thought it was very Slay other than that.
Yeah, what I will say about that is, like, I completely agree that, like, I feel like this is something that just Disney Plus shows in general have an issue of like, hey guys, we gotta up the brightness, at least in post, of like, just so we can see what's going on. Because I understand, like, in terms of visual storytelling, like, this is a dark time. Of course, shit can be shrouded in darkness. However, when it becomes a thing of like, for people with low vision, it's, you can't see dick, it's no good.
I did find out today that they announced that they're doing the Percy Jackson series also in the volume as well. They're doing the Avatar Last Airbender Netflix live action in the volume, but they just announced they're doing the Percy Jackson one, and I was like, so I'm not gonna be able to see shit. So the only time I can see anything is when the actual lightning bolt comes out the sky, because I'm not gonna be able to see shit again. Like, I'm sure this technology is cool. Wish I could see anything. But I know also Thor Love and Thunder, apparently they did using it. So Taika, dear God, I hope I can see something.
Outside of the lighting, I would be comfortable giving it a 4. It did a lot of the things that I like walked in wanting to see, and I did walk in with like almost 0 expectations. I think my thing is that it's very difficult for me to recall what the middle section of the show was about. Like I have a very strong like emotional memory of the beginning and end. The middle felt kind of like things happened, but not in a way that felt super cohesive to me. I would say the biggest thing that I liked about the show, though, was I really liked the character arc that Obi-Wan went through. And I was pleasantly surprised that, at least to me, it didn't feel rushed despite being such a short like show. Like I was worried about that walking in, that it being only 6 episodes would sort of hinder it. But I really didn't feel like that by the end.
I will say the only part of this show that I genuinely felt like, oh, this is a little bit rushed. And I'm sure there's a reason for this, but in the wrap up, like in the last episode, I felt like it was just like a laundry list of, oh, quick, here's everyone we have to check in with, which I don't mind because like I do kind of like a wrap up like that, but I do feel like there are certain things where I was like, it would have been nice for us to spend just like a little bit longer, like even if it was just like another minute. Like I would have liked to see Leia and her cousin again just because I think that would be funny, but I also would have liked to see like, hey, what's Reva doing? And I'm like, I'm sure there's a reason, I hope there's a reason that they didn't show, but like what's going on with that? But I feel like it could have benefited from another, like, maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, I also have a hard time recalling some of the stuff that happened in the middle because there's, like, very emotional highs for me in the beginning and at the end, but the middle becomes a little blurry for me. One thing I wanted to have seen stretch out a bit more, maybe, I don't know, I felt it was a little rushed, but that might just be my opinion, was, like, Leia getting kidnapped again by Reva, getting taken to Fortress Inquisitorius, and Obi-Wan being able to rescue her like really quickly. And that was also, I think, the shortest episode of the whole series. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't know. That felt a little rushed to me, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like the middle dragged a little bit. Not in any way that I think was like a serious detriment to the series. I enjoyed getting to visit Fortress Inquisitorius. I think it's interesting that Leia got fucking questioned there and was just like, okay, anyways, I'm gonna live the rest of my life now. Slay on her part. We love that for her. Overall, this series probably gets like a 4.25, which I know is such like a bitchy answer because first of all, I think it's my favorite of the Disney Plus Star Wars series for me. The Mandalorian is quite close in second there. I think I ended up enjoying this more, and I think it has the tactical advantage of like having characters that we've known longer, even though I have famously said I don't particularly give a fuck about Obi-Wan. This series made me give a fuck a little bit about Obi-Wan. However, I will say, and Ollie can attest to this, the entire last episode, I was like, I don't give a fuck about what this bitch is doing. Where is Reva? Quickly, where is my homegirl?
I was saying
it was no,
where is she?
That's what's funny is like the princess and the Leia's theme is playing in a devastating musical cue, is playing when she is getting dropped off on Alderaan, and I'm like, oh, this is really sad, and I start getting kind of emotional, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not a crier, so I was like, oh, this is weird for me to be feeling emotion at a show. That is being trite, but I digress. I'm like, oh, whatever, and Mel starts going, where's Reva? And I'm like, I'm trying to have a moment. And they're like, do you think she's on the ship? I'm like, I feel like I'm watching this with CinemaSins right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we're being a little CinemaSins right now just because we're, like, almost, like, not trying to find faults, but also being, like, these are the little small things. Like, overall, we all enjoyed ourselves. Like, I think the overall thing was, like, oh, yeah, I forgot that I liked Star Wars, and I quite enjoy myself most of the time.
Part of me feels a little bad because like I did enjoy this show, but I don't know, I didn't get as like emotional as like other people like that I saw like on Twitter or TikTok being like, oh my god, this show was like the best. And I do agree that it was really good, but I personally wouldn't say it was the best. But maybe it's because I don't have as strong of an emotional attachment to these characters as a newer Star Wars fan who only got into Star Wars like after like The Mandalorian. So that's just me, though. I don't know.
Vis-a-vis like the emotions around the show, I got to admit, I don't really give a fuck about Anakin Skywalker. I find him interesting as a character, like
So
in
true.
terms of. Thank you, Jess. I feel so seen by you in this moment. But like I find him interesting as a character foil and as like the way he interacts with others. But like overall, whenever any sad Anakin stuff happens, I'm like, oh, Padme, I miss you. Like,
oh, yeah.
So I liked, so I mean, when it was like Vader is sad, I was like, well, I mean, sure. I liked it for what it had to do with Obi-Wan. I think what I liked about this show the most is one of the things that I also liked about Rogue One, where it adds to some stuff that happens later in the timeline and makes it a lot more weighty. Like, for example, as literally everyone across the internet has been talking about, the ending of A New Hope, like Obi-Wan's death and Leia not actually getting to ever have any real moment with him, is significantly sadder now that we know that like they had a real like well-founded relationship. That actually, like, their dynamic was probably my favorite part of the show overall. Like, they were great together. But I think my biggest thing of like I really didn't care about that is like when Anakin's like, I am upset, I'm like, okay. That sucks for you, doesn't it?
Which I kind of loved how that was kind of how Obi-Wan ended the show as well. He was like, and I don't care. Oh well, that sucks for you.
Goodbye, Darth.
When I said this last week, I laughed. Like I was
too.
crying the whole episode, and then he said that, and I just started just fucking laughing. It was
Goodbye,
so funny
Darth.
to me. It was like, oh, she passed away.
I like the idea that Obi-Wan slept through the Sith Lord lecture. He was like, I've killed a Sith Lord. I don't need to know about this. And then now he's like, oh, fuck. So Darth? That's the name. That's like what I call Maul Maul because he's not really a Sith anymore. So that's appropriate, right, Darth? Darth, you could be Darth.
There's a cut Clone Wars episode wherein Obi-Wan goes to Dooku's house or whatever on Serrano and is like, hey, Darth. And he's like, what the fuck did you just call me?
Hey, Darth Grandpa.
The war with Darth Grandpa?
Yeah.
That is literally just Star Wars.
Yeah, that's Kylo
Truly.
Ren. Yeah, that's Kylo Ren, except for he's on Grandpa's side.
No, it's like, you know,
The war.
Rey.
No. The war for Grandpa.
Okay, yeah, for Kylo, it's the war for Grandpa. For Rey, at the end of Rise of Skywalker is, again...
The war with my grandpa.
I'm fighting for Grandpa. It's me, Kylo Ren.
That's what he should have said in The Force Awakens.
You don't understand. Let me show you the power of the Grandpa.
Of my grandpa.
Not any grandpa. My grandpa.
The idea of Kylo Ren being a grandpa's boy, like he canonically is, but like if Anakin was alive, him being like, Grandpappy and I are going to the golf course today. I don't know why they golf, because they're white people, I guess. Sorry for the generalization.
Okay, but you're right. I mean, I did golf with my white grandpa, so...
I'm just gonna say this. I love the idea of I obviously, yeah, canonical grandpa's boy Kylo Ren. However, I feel like he's the kid in school who, whenever you're like, oh, my parents, and he's like, well, my grandfather, if you weren't aware, did the fought. Like, he fought in the Clone Wars. Okay, what did your grandpa do?
Oh,
nothing. That's what I thought.
Girls. He's the Mean Girls. My father, who invented the
toaster strudel.
Anything for my father,
Kylo
the inventor
Weiners?
of the dark side.
Gretchen Wren?
No.
Okay, quickly, who are the rest of the Mean Girls in that
I
scenario?
can't keep doing this.
Katie
We
Heron's
can't
obviously
do
Rey.
that.
Anyway.
Okay, no, Katie Heron is Rey, and Janice and Damien are Finn and Poe.
So true. Anyways.
You know, I'm still thinking about Noah bringing up like Leia and Obi-Wan, because yeah, that also was like probably one of my favorite things in the whole show was Leia and Obi-Wan's little adventure, because you know I'm a sucker for a dad and child storyline. They always get me with that. I'm just like, damn it, Star Wars, not again. But one of my favorite moments in the whole like series was like, you know, when Leia holds Obi-Wan's hand to like comfort him. I was like, oh, that's very sweet.
As usual, I am always in love with the trope of hot DILF dad and amazing daughter that they find to like love together and they are happy and the DILF learns to soften his heart. I always love that storyline. So the second that I figured out that that's what was happening, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to be in for it. And I was. But I also like to say on that note, the actress who plays Leia, I don't know her name, I'm sorry.
Vivian Lyra Blair.
She's amazing. I loved literally like all of her moments. I was like, you are, first of all, spitting image of Carrie Fisher as a human being. I was like, I love you. But also like the way that she played Leia, who as a character who got to be both like a child who behaves the way children do, whilst also being like this capable, interesting character. I loved. And it was also really in character for Leia as a human being. Like I love in the first couple episodes, she's like, Obi-Wan, you're weird and old. And I don't know what your fucking deal is. But like, she's also really smart and handles herself well. And I felt that was both true to Leia's character, and it made for a really fun watch, and I really enjoyed it.
I was actually just gonna say that like we could like discuss, because I feel like everyone's starting to bring up our favorite parts of the show, like aspects. It could be a scene, could just be like an overall concept, because I feel like Noah and Jess kind of touched on that, because I was also going to bring up women, because I think that this is women at their finest in Star Wars.
No, literally. Like, I mean, we compared it a lot to the Queen's Hope books last time, where like E.K. Johnson was like, I have these books about this one woman, but I'm going to bring in as many women as possible. And I feel like Deborah Cho kind of did the same thing with this show, where she was like, this is about Obi-Wan, but like everybody else is going to be a powerful woman. Plus like Haja and Roken, they're just there. They're vibing. They're super cool. And Owen, like they're vibing and they're super cool. But like everybody else is just like girl boss, girl boss, girl boss, girl boss, but also like interesting girl boss, fleshed out girl boss. Like, it was very, and I mean, that's also very on brand for Obi-Wan. Like, he always has very slight women around him. I just thought it was very cool that it was like, not only are we going to explore women who already exist in Star Wars, like Bria Organa, like Leia, but like Beru, but we're also going to introduce some new very slay women, and, you know, have some new favorite shitos, like Tala. Like, I was like, oh, so the theme of this show is women. Like, we thought it was about Obi-Wan, but really, the theme of this show is women. And you know what? He said women's rights. Thank you.
So true. When he was like, Reva, turn towards the light, he was saying, I support women's rights and women's wrongs. Because I know there's good in her still. No, I completely agree. I think that this show has just been leaps and bounds better for women in the Star Wars franchise. Like, the average Star Wars project, like, I think about like, and I feel like I constantly rag on Book of Boba Fett, even though I once again liked it and I really love all of those characters. I feel like Fennec really deserved a treatment,
yes,
where we just like learned anything about her inner life.
Let Deborah Chow do this show.
Yeah, when is Deborah Chow doing the fucking Fennec?
She wouldn't have betrayed us with Boba and Fennec's story.
Never.
So
she never
true.
would have.
So true.
They would have been best friends. Two pretty best friends actually fucking up shit, instead of like, Fennec, go run around, please, and thank you. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm ragging on Book of Boba Fett. There is not a single female character in this show, like, who is a main character, obviously, who I feel like she is in a different space than where she was at the beginning of the show. Maybe Beru, but that's because we just really didn't see her until the end. So she didn't have like all that time to have an arc. But that being said, I feel like she did at least have an arc from Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith to now. Because, you know, then she was obviously like, oh yeah, also, sorry, shout out to Fourth Sister. You also didn't have any character development. Go girl, give us nothing for real. She literally just stood there. Where are you? I can't wait for you to be relevant in like Jedi Survivor, maybe.
She's still
I don't know.
fucking dealing with Fifth Brother's bullshit. That's what she's doing. So actually,
true.
she's
what
a queen.
happened to Fifth Brother? Like, he got like nothing.
Let's go. King, give us nothing.
It's my time to shine. I said this when we were talking about why Hauser was not like why Hauser did not feel the effects of Order 66 all that much in those first couple episodes. I said it when we talked about why Thrawn acts different in Rebels than he does in the books. Because Fifth Brother was in the bathroom for the last episodes of this show.
Was that why he was mean to Reva? Because he had IBS?
Not because he has IBS. He has horrible indigestion. He was having horrible indigestion that then became horrible diarrhea.
He has celiac disease. Sorry.
I was thinking that maybe he just decided, he's like, you know what? I'm going to use some of my accumulated, like, you know, vacation time and treat myself to a spa day because, like, you know, my skin's very, like, kind of ashy. I think I need some, like, just a good spa day, get some good moisturizer.
Did he go to the Polynesian spa with with the Boba Fett?
I will say, in Rebels, he definitely looks more moisturized. So you know what? He also suddenly looks like John Cena. So slay!
This show especially, too, it was a lot of women of color specifically also. I was just like, yes, thank you for not only women, but also people of color being, like, absolute, like, slay epic moments for them.
Yeah, and I think that was one of my big concerns, like, after watching, like, the first, like, episode, maybe 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, was, like, I was like, oh no, is Reva gonna be, like, this, like, angry black woman character, which it's such a like a loaded thing to begin with, but I know her story was about a Black woman grieving, and like coming into her own, and so that was like, yes, thank you. And also Moses Ingram, holy shit, that performance was so, at the last episode, that was my favorite moment in the entire series, where like she was like ready to strike Luke down, and then she was like, I can't do this, no.
I literally, I already said I don't really care about Anakin Skywalker, and I stick by that. The moment that really like almost brought me to tears, that I had to like pause, is when she looks up at Obi-Wan and is like, "Have I become him?" And I was like,
Abso-fucking-lutely, holy shit.
No,
I needed a minute,
Yeah,
because
that was
genuinely,
yeah.
it was also like, I think this is also what I loved about the show, is like, what a culmination of a character. Like, first of all, I love that she lived. That was my biggest thing. I was like,
Absolutely.
thank God that she got to live through the show. But like, the fact that the conclusion of her arc for this portion of her story is the realization that she was like, whether she wanted to or not, perpetuating the pain done to her by others, and for her to stop and go like, I'm consciously saying I don't want to be this, I am actively refusing to be this person. It kind of broke me a little bit / a lot. Like the shot where she goes to strike down Luke and it switches to her child self, and it was like, and Moses carried that like so well. Her performance was like iconic in every way, shape, and form. And all I'm saying is that I would like more of Reva. I literally don't care how we get it. I want to see what is next for her, because I'm fascinated by her journey as a character, and I feel like there's a lot of great content to pull from.
Welcome to Reva Watch.
No, literally, I think we all are going to become Reva Watch, because many people may know my favorite moment in all of Star Wars is Twin Suns. And so, like, yeah, was I crying the rest of the episode? Absolutely. But then when it gets to that point and we have both the parallels to Ventress and the parallels to Maul, because Maul is like, he says, well, like, is he the chosen one? And then he goes like, you know, okay, please avenge us or whatever. And it's such a turning that moment on its head for her to be like, oh, have I become him? I was like, wow, it's like Twin Suns in reverse. I was like, holy shit. But what I also thought was cool was that it wasn't like, oh, Obi-Wan showed her the way, which would have really sucked, because it would have been like, oh, a white guy, like whatever. She was very much on that path independently. They even like, Obi-Wan is doing his thing with Vader on one side, and then she's doing her thing, and like they're very separate. Obviously, they intersect, but they're very separate, and it's very much like her. It's not her realizing shit about herself because of a man or a white guy. It's like it's her own path. Yeah. And he's just there to be like, hey, I'm here. I'm here to be someone, like, to be there for you, like when you wanted, like, you know, when you need somebody. Yeah. And I was like, wow, holy shit.
What I will also say is that I think they're two through lines that like intersect, and because Obi-Wan's role in the Jedi Order directly does come from a place of Reva's trauma of like, where the fuck were you when we needed you? And that is like the perfect thing of like, he's like, well, and she's like, okay, well, we gotta move on. And that was phenomenal.
And I think also like that line I was gonna say, when Reva says, where were you? Like, that was chilling. It was really good. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, Obi-Wan, where the fuck were you? But like, it was so interesting to have a character whose trauma was, I think what I liked about it was both very like her own, but it also was deeply entwined and intertangled with who Obi-Wan is as a person. I will also say, yeah, Maul's a character, whatever, and I don't mean to be a bitch, but the Virgin Maul versus the Chad Reva.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's
what I've been saying.
So true.
Yeah, exactly. She said, oh my
wishes.
God, somebody died on this planet? That's ass. I'm not going to do that. No, because she already did. No, because he hasn't done that yet. So
yeah, technically he's wandering around out there somewhere.
He had a vision of Maul showed up to beat Obi-Wan's ass and had a vision of Reva, and he was like, I'll never be that cool. I'm just gonna let Obi-Wan take me out here.
No, I also have to say, like, I mean, across this conversation so far, I think the biggest through line is like the acting has been very slay. Like the actress who plays young Leia, Moses Ingram for Reva. I mean, obviously Ewan McGregor himself. Like, I mean. And I could also talk about how Hayden Christensen, I talked last week about like Hayden Christensen was like, I'm going to study Twilight of the Apprentice to deliver that absolute slay line and all of that performance in the final. I was like, there's just really good acting in this. I was like, holy shit. They were finally given a good director who doesn't give them shit dialogue, and they were like, I'm running with this one. Sorry, George.
Have you guys
No,
seen
don't
that?
apologize to George.
Have you guys seen that video of Mark Hamill, like, shortly after, I don't remember if it was after the original trilogies, where he's like
shitting on the dialogue?
Yeah, where he's like, I had to ask George to take this line out because I was like, people don't talk like that, George. It's really funny. If you guys like have not seen it, look up Mark Hamill, people don't talk like that, George. And watch that video because it's fucking hilarious.
There's also like, I think he mentions that Harrison Ford also said stuff like that, and like Harrison Ford like was also like, I'm not saying that or whatever about certain things, but like Hayden also had moments like that, and then like, I don't know, said in interviews that George was like, but just say it anyway. And I'm like, hey, you're an angel for dealing with that shit.
Yeah,
like,
because in that interview, Mark Hamill was like, yeah, you're the one, like, George is writing the dialogue, but we're the one who people are gonna make fun of for it, so.
He predicted the future.
So true. That is what I will say about, and I think that we are all prequel enjoyers here. We don't have, like, hateful negative shit to say about the prequels. We got definitely negative shit to say, but, like, not, like, in a hateful way that the visceral hatred that so many people had about the prequels up until about, I would say, 5 years ago. That, like, Hayden worked with what he had. His performance facially, his actual, like, acting itself, I think is really good in the prequels. It's just that the words that he has to say are so ass.
Yeah, I will, as, you know, everyone knows, I'm not an Anakin enjoyer, but I will always defend Hayden Christensen's acting in the prequels. Like, he is a good actor. Just, there's only so much you can do with some of those lines.
I'm glad he got to shine in this series.
Yes.
Because I will say that the scene that I was like, oh shit, that was really good. I mean, that everyone was saying was the whole, like, when he was like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. Like, I think that line got thrown around because some people were like, see, Anakin still like sees himself as someone who has like fallen and failed. I read that more as him being like, haha, I did it, I'm better than you. Because at this point in his life, I think he's still mistaking the dark side for power. But I think what I loved about that line was that it brought Obi-Wan closure insofar as he realized, like, I was never going to be the one to fix you. And I was never going to successfully, like, dissuade you from this path. I did what I could. I did what I thought was best at the time. And that's literally all any of us can. And I liked that because I felt like it made sense to me about how Obi-Wan as a character has to learn that, like, when shitty things happen to people in his life, it's his part of his character arc is always decoupling himself from what had happened to those people. Like, they behave that way, but that's not on him.
I can't remember who said this on Twitter. It was either Mike Chen or Adam Christopher, who wrote Shadow of the Sith, and then Mike Chen, who wrote Brotherhood. I can't remember which one of them, but I feel like it was one of them who said this recently. Like, people ask them, like, who should have trained Anakin for things to work out. It was Mike Chen.
It was Mike Chen, yeah.
Okay. And Mike Chen was like, no one. Like, it would have, regardless of who had taught him, Palpatine was still in his ear telling him things, to do things, and for him to internalize and make those decisions on his own. And this really solidified it, and it was just, yeah, I feel like all the bros who are like, like, the council is so shit and blah, 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 blah. Like, both things can be true, my good bitch.
The other thing that was cool is, like, yeah, we talked about, like, oh, is Obi-Wan a good Jedi, whatever. Like, that was also a moment showing how great of a Jedi he is, because, like, this is a thing that has plagued him for at least 10 years. Him blaming himself for Padme's death, and also him blaming himself for Anakin. He finally lets it go, and, like, that's the Jedi thing, to let it go. And he listens, and he's like, okay, I'm letting it. And that's, like, it's what makes him a great. You get to almost see both sides of him in that moment. You get to see him be very sly with the Force, but then you also get to see him, like, emotionally let go, and you're like, damn, all right, maybe you are as Yasin Slay as everyone says you are.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like because everything was resolved with such, like, it felt like such a neat little bow aside from Reva, I don't have a lot to be like, ooh, like, I wonder what they're gonna do now, like, which is fine. Like, I don't need that. It's kind of nice to not have to add my own conjecture in order to enjoy a character arc, which is weird because I feel like I'm very used to doing that, is where I'm like, haha, what would they say in this situation? I'm like, oh, well, we know. Everything that I would be curious about knowing, like, how would they react to this? We got it. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Except for his Grindr profile. We don't know.
No.
Deborah Chow, we need answers.
No, I'm just saying if someone knows what it looks like, what pictures were used, what he put in his little bio, what tags he used. If you guys didn't know, Grindr has tags, but for people, just so you know.
Oh, so troubling.
Yeah, and it is.
Do we have any other final thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi? Okay.
Bring Reva back.
So true. I'm holding out. I will become a gamer if she is in Jedi Survivor. And
Well,
I
stand
would
by
love
that.
for her to be in Jedi Survivor.
I will live stream playing Jedi Survivor.
Don't
If she's
don't
in
make
Jedi
don't make a
Survivor.
promise you can't
Reva
keep.
watching Andor? Let's discuss.
So true. I just wanted to say that one thing that I love about this show, that I loved about Rogue One, that I love about a lot of these non-Jedi Star Wars characters, which is part of the reason I'm so pumped for Andor, is that they always tend to be ride or die for the rebellion, and the Jedi characters tend to like need convincing. And I love that a lot of what the Jedi who survive Order 66 have to learn is that there are still things that are worth fighting for. My brother's on the roof. That's the knocking that you're hearing.
No, that's me and your walls.
No, because it's from the outside. Yeah, he's on the roof. Okay.
But no, yeah, I liked it a lot. If they decided to do a second season, because it did seem very open-ended, I wouldn't be opposed to that. It was very good. Definitely better than the other Star Wars show that came out earlier this year. That was about my favorite character and let me down. But this is why we have no expectations anymore. The bar's on the floor, and it's gonna remain on the floor because I'm still afraid. But I am hyped for Andor.
So true. Let's start. Why was I gonna say let's start the Andor hype house? I feel like
No, that's
M
just-
Stardust
that's
M.
M's-
That's just
yeah.
her Twitter. Not her
So-
Twitter.
That's her
Okay,
Twitter and
no.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Guys, is Rogue One not just a hype house?
You're
the characters
done.
from
So
Rogue
true.
One riding on their little ship to go to Scarif, are they not just a
the
hype
idea
house?
of Bodhi Rook doing one of those stupid little dances that they do, where they're like humping the air, very funny.
Bodhi Rook is a lot like Dixie D'Amelio when you think about it.
Dixie D'Amelio died of getting the Death Star plans.
I
Dixie D'Amelio
can't.
died on Scarif.
Dixie D'Amelio's like, guys, I believe in hope. It's the only thing we have.
I don't know why, but
Charlie,
And my
now
dad
we-
is my dad is Hannibal.
Charlie
No.
D'Amelio says rebellions are built on hope.
So true. Also, I can't stop thinking now about the idea of Mads Mikkelsen standing next to Dixie D'Amelio. So let's move on.
I can't fucking do this. Should I do Cody Watch?
A final good Cody watch.
I mean, if you've tuned into every one of our episodes for for us talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, no, he was not there. You know, we got one nameless clone in the beginning of the series, and I was like, yeah, Tem, let's go, Tem. Fun fact was that was like, you know, the first time Tem ever actually got to wear clone armor, because, you know, he didn't wear clone armor in the prequels. It was just all CGI. But yeah,
Slay.
Cody wasn't there. I am deeply troubled by this, but you know, soon, Cody Nation, we rise.
Cody Nation, we ride at dawn.
Yeah, because I mean, next month we get Obi-Wan issue 3 for the Obi-Wan 2022 comic coming out right now, and Cody will be there, and he's going to be a main character. So check on me in a month. Check on how I'm doing in a month. I might not be well.
Stand strong, my brothers.
Now it's time for our favorite segment, Name That Ship, where we find, or some of you send us, fics from the archive of our own that have interesting pairings or an interesting premise. And we make the rest of the hosts guess what it is. This is the celebration of the art form of fan fiction. Please do not go find these fics. Do not harass anybody. This is fun, and we very much love the people who make these. No matter how crazy they are, you are the icons and you are the moment. So, to begin, this one, it's pretty on theme. There's only one ship. It was submitted to me by winter.fet on TikTok. So, the title is called The Ghost and the Shadow. It has one ship, and it just has 3 characters. Character A, Character B, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hence why it's on theme. The additional tags are mutual pining, alternate universe canon divergence, Jedi character B, mention of slavery, undercover missions, fake pretend relationship. The summary. A case of mistaken identity makes for an awkward introduction between character A of fill in the blank, that would give it away, and Jedi Shadow, character B. But things heat up in more ways than one while on a mission.
So it's one Quinlan Voss.
No.
Oh.
Is one Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
No, Obi-Wan is a character who shows up in the fic.
Oh, wait,
He's
yeah,
not in the
sorry.
ship.
I only asked because Quinlan's like he's a shadow, like that's his thing. So
Quinlan
that's
is
why I
not in the
asked.
fic.
Yeah.
So you said Jedi character B, so is character B not normally a Jedi? Like,
He
is
is
this
not
like a
normally
swap?
a Jedi, but he
Okay,
is
slay.
force sensitive.
So Maul.
It is Maul. It's Jedi Shadow Maul.
Okay.
It's character A.
Wait, is this a gay ship, right?
Yes, it is a man.
And is the man a
General
Jedi?
Grievous.
No.
Yeah, you got
Get
it.
Grievous
That's
out
it.
of here.
I've decided.
Is the man a Jedi?
No.
Okay. Bail Organa.
No.
Get
Are
Bail
they
away
in-
from him.
Are they in the animated stuff?
Yes.
Hondo Onaka.
No.
Damn it.
Are they human?
Yes.
Is it Owen Lars?
No.
Thrawn. Wait,
No.
fuck.
No,
Eli Vanto.
It's not
No,
a throw.
let's
Damn
just
it.
They're
Guys.
not Eli Vanto.
Guys, we can't just do this thing I've noticed where we all just say what we're thinking all at once. There has to be some order.
Okay, so character A, they're not a Jedi.
Nope.
They're in the animated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tarkin?
No.
Is this a character that we like as a podcast?
Yes.
You answered with a haste.
Masamita.
Masamita's not human.
Human.
This is kicking your ass, Noah.
Are they a clone?
Noah
Yes.
sees someone who's blue and says, "You're a human." I don't
Rex?
care
Is
what.
it
It's not Rex.
is it Cody?
Yes.
What? Maul and Cody?
Oh my god,
It's
guys!
Cody and Maul. They have a case of mistaken identity, and Commander Cody of Ghost Company and Jedi Shadow Maul oppress and have a fake pretend relationship.
Call Modi.
Also
Is
in
it
the notes,
Bodhi, that robot from the kids show?
also in the notes it says, I decided to drop in a few hints of Cody/Maul/Obi-Wan just for fun, though it can be read as just the two of them if that's preferred.
In love with the incredibly toxic polycule of Maul, Obi-Wan, and Cody. No,
But
because here's the
it's
thing:
Jedi
you
Maul.
see them from across the bar and be like, "I hate their vibe."
I gotta stay
Their
away
vibe
from
sucks.
them. Yeah.
No, but it's Jedi Maul, so he is a little better. Anyways,
I think the comparison of like Maul to Jedi Maul is that Maul doesn't shower and Jedi Maul uses 5-in-1 shampoo.
Mm.
I think that's the comparison I would make.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of the
shampoo.
Jedi use 5-in-1 shampoo.
I
I think
Tragically, I agree.
There's
Quinlan doesn't is one of the only ones who doesn't use 5-in-1 shampoo.
I think there are 2 Jedi that don't use 5-in-1 shampoo, and it is Quinlan Voss and Comac Vitus. They're the only
Yeah.
bitches in the entire
Actually, no,
order.
I think Stellan Geos.
I know that Belzetifar has good skin. That's what I'm
Okay,
gonna say.
true.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right,
true.
you're right.
That's true.
He at least has a moisturizer.
Do you guys think Loden uses moisturizer on his head?
Oh,
Absolutely.
bathing in it.
No,
Like,
actually,
Bathing in
I
it.
can't use
Loden
shampoo. He doesn't have
Greatstorm-
hair.
I think Loden Greatstorm actually does use something that's not a 5-in-1 product.
Belle, I got this stuff from Lush, please. Can you put that? Can you
This is
Not
my
like a Lush
guys. This is my
stand?
Loden Memorial Bath Bomb in collaboration. Hi, I'm a representative from Lush. We are doing a collaboration, the Loden Greatstorm Memorial Bath Bomb.
and it becomes ash, just like he did. Anyways,
It's green on the outside and gray on the inside.
that's so hateful.
It's called the Nameless.
No.
Nar.
The fic I am bringing today is called Crawling Towards the Sun. It is just one ship, character A and character B. Alternate universe, modern setting. Alternate universe, college/university. Here we go again, because one college A year wasn't enough. Character B is a sensitive artist. Character A is a not-so-sensitive metal worker. I'm sure you can guess where this is going. Character A, your pickup lines suck. Join me in Rare Pair of Hell. Watch me bullshit my way through metalworking. Character A is a terrible flirt. Please send help. Character B is not amused. Paint me like one of your French girls. Inappropriate metal sculptures. Boys kissing. Soft kisses. Soft boys. Recreational drug use. Typical art student bullshit. Grinding.
Is this Han and Baylor?
No, it is not Han and Valence.
Oh, wait, okay, so
Oh
are
my
these
God.
prequel era characters?
No.
Do
Are
they
these
appear in the-
original trilogy?
One of them appears in the original trilogy.
Is one of them Han Solo and the other is Baylor?
No.
Do
Is
they
one of them Luke?
No.
both appear in the movies?
Yes.
Are they main characters?
No.
Is one Wedge Antilles?
Yes, one is
I was
Wedge
about to
Is
Antilles.
ask
one
if
big
one of-
Starklighter?
No.
Damn it.
Is
the
Wedge
other
the
one-
art student or the metal worker?
Wedge is the metalworker.
Very sly.
Do they
Wedge?
know each other in Star Wars?
Wedge probably knows of character A or character B.
Kanan Jarrus.
Nope.
Don't know why that came to my head. He's significantly older than him.
Is the other character force
Not they know
sensitive?
each other.
The other character is not force sensitive.
Are they human?
Yes.
A member of the rebellion?
Yes.
Lando Calrissian?
No.
Okay, wait. So, sorry, I missed this. Has character A appeared in the original trilogy or just that era?
Character A appeared in the original trilogy. Character B is the one that you haven't guessed yet. Yeah.
Is it a character from Rogue One?
Yes.
Bodhi
Is it Bodhi
Rook?
Rook?
It is Bodhi Rook / Wedge Antilles.
You know what I hate?
And,
I hate.
wait. And Bodhi Rook is the art student?
Yes.
That's very slay.
I hate that I was like, I bet it's Bodhi, and then I just didn't say anything. Like, I sat here for like 5 minutes while not 5 minutes. I sat here for like a couple seconds while everyone was like, haha, guessing, and I was like, I bet it's Bodhi.
I love
I
how
was
we
just
all have
silent.
a hive mind at this. Like, we all like meandered down the same path. That's so good.
That's slay.
I know. Once again, here's the thing. And this is just, I guess, a thing to say to you people, and then also to the folks who submit fan fiction to us. I went basically down the entire rare pair tag, and I've found some pretty great things there. So, more on that later. More on that at 9.
Very excited.
Big if true.
Big if true. Thank you so much for joining us this week for Roop Helps Pod Race. Now that Obi-Wan Kenobi is over, we're going back to bi-weekly episodes until Andor starts, but be on the lookout for some fun content in the meantime. For updates, Star Wars news, and more cursed shit, follow us on social media at Roop Helps Pod Race on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Want to ask us a question? Send us a Q&A on our TikTok or email us at roophelpspodrace@gmail.com. If you really love the show, please rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or Overcast. It means a lot to us. And remember, may the Force be with you. And don't criff it up.
Waka waka.
Waka waka.
Waka waka.